Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple defensive principles here on the counterattack and just in regular defense. So this is really for defenders and wingers. So if they've got the ball right here and they're on a counterattack, they're dribbling towards us. Let's say that they pass it out to the wing, which is a common thing to do. This guy's wide open over here. This is kind of the position we were stuck in our second game. When this happens right here, we have to slow down the ball. We can't just let this guy run in and have a shot in on goal. So to slow this guy down on the ball, we need to have our fullback come out and just close down this winger. You don't win the ball. We've kind of had the problem of coming in and diving in and just having them skirt right by us or pass right by us real quickly. You just want to slow them down as much as you can. As soon as this player then leaves that position, that space that they've previously had, then that triggers the center back to cover for them and fill in that space, fill in that gap, because that space is the most dangerous space. By filling this in right here, what you do is you stop this kind of a pass from happening. You stop that kind of a pass from happening. You've got both of them sort of covered. All right. Now, that of course leaves this gap right here, and it's starting to look like we're just, filling in holes that we've previously left, and that's exactly what's happening. Now this player has to react to the other center back coming over, and they're now forming that back line with this other center back. But that leaves this space right here, which now the fullback has to be aware of and mind this gap right here, so they have to have this kind of compact shape. Now by the time all of this is happening, of course these players are not going to be static, they're going to be running in on the ball as well. So this is kind of a high-pressure situation. This player has a decision to make. They either go back over here, they go over here, they try some play in the middle here. We're fairly compact at this point, and having 4 defenders versus 4 offensive players, if let's say that let's say that they're still over here, to be honest, let's say it's still over here, and they're kind of just dribbling down this line, and our fullback, K, or whoever's playing that position, has closed them down. We're still compact, and we're very solid right now. It's difficult for them to have a pass that can break us down, and the keeper can't just swallow up and save. So that's great. Now the problem comes when they start to move the ball. So let's say that this number 9 then pulls off real quick, comes back over here to receive the ball. Right. So now this player, the center back, has to come up and close down that ball. And now the fullback comes back and covers for the center back. You're not staying up with the winger over here, and that's true for the other side. If this whole thing was reversed on the other side, you're not staying up with this winger. And the reason you don't stay and mark this winger is because at this point right here, this ball is incredibly easy to play. This ball right there for this winger to run onto. And this winger is facing towards the goal, and you're not, as a fullback, you're facing towards the ball. So you have to turn your body all the way around and start your acceleration after this player's already got 2 or 3 steps on you. So you're not going to, most likely, you're not going to catch that player unless you've got incredible speed. So you need to be able to tuck in and cover. I mean, we say cover for this center back, but really what you're doing is you're cutting down the passing lanes for any pass out here. Now, if they take the ball and they pass it back over here to his feet, that's great. We don't care about that. That's fantastic. They pass it out to his feet. I'm really happy about that. Now, our center back then comes back and covers for the fullback again, and then this player has to come over and cover for them. This player comes over and covers for them. Okay, so you're starting to see some sort of a defensive principle. Whenever the ball is played, let's say it's played out over here, the person that's in front of them, they come out, close down the ball, and the other players react off of that and cover, provide that defensive cover for the player who's stepped up. So now they've got the whole space filled, and that sets the back line for the rest of the line. Okay, so this is a great principle for the back 4. Whoever is on the ball, they are closing down the ball, and the rest of the team is just covering for them. I've got a video about this, just drills we're going to be doing in practice, and even before the game we can practice this. just to kind of going up and then coming back. If the ball's over here, played over here, then that's great that this guy comes up and the rest of the players fill in and cover for them. With this kind of a shape out here, it just leaves them the only option of going outside. And that option for us is fine. We're okay with them going outside. We feel like we have the kind of the capability of coming back and heading the ball away if we need to, or just defending solidly with our fullback. So we're not really concerned with that. The only thing that's going to hurt us is a pass through the middle. Okay? Now, on a counterattack, let's say that we go back to the counterattack situation where we got this number 7 over here, this number 9, this number 10, the 2 over here, the 5 right. Okay, so we've got all our players kind of like coming here. This player steps up. This player comes over here to fill their hole. This player fill their hole. This player then comes in, fills that space. This player is filling that space, so that's our fullback. But that now leaves this pass right here over the top to our running in on our like over our fullback. And that is a problem. Okay, I'm going to admit that is a problem for us. That is a skilled play, and it can happen. It's unlikely, but it can happen, that kind of a pass coming in. Maybe in a couple of years when we're playing FC Boulder, that's the pass they're going to play. That's going to cut us open. So what we need to do for our wingers is to bust our asses back. That is just as simple as I can make it. Bust your asses back and make sure that this winger is not a threat to us. So you've got them marked. I've also been neglecting the fact that this winger has to come back as well and cover. Our wingers, especially on counters, are going to be extremely tired. You need to make that recovery run as fast as you make your own counter runs and trying to get in on goal. This is just as important because without that cover right here, it leaves us very vulnerable for that pass. Now, even though they're not, the players that we play against may not have that skill to do that, to have that come off, we are even a little shaky on that kind of a pass. Even though they might not be able to do it right now, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't defend that ball and defend it right. So this is how we're going to try to defend it, with our wingers coming back and providing that cover. Okay? Our fullback can't cover 2 guys at this point. All right? So they can't feel like they're responsible for this holding midfielder coming in and making a run, and also this player on the backside. If we're compact as we should be, we need to have that winger coming back and making that covering run. Okay? So that's all I have to say about the counters and our main defensive principles as a back four. The defensive principles for the back four really do apply to the rest of the team. But I'm not going to go into that right now. I think it's a little bit, it's too much detail at this point. We just need to make sure that we have a good shape on defense for the rest of our players, our holding midfielders and our wingers. But the main idea for that would be that you've got the space that we're staying compact with everybody, and as soon as one person comes out, everybody else has to react to what they've just done. You're not thinking about just your position, you're thinking about everybody's position around you, and you're covering space in behind. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.